Hey guys, it's PlayStation Inquisition here, and it's one of my days off, and I thought I'd cover something a little interesting here. Um, Now, how do I put this delicately? We've all heard a lot of claims between PC fanboys and console fanboys about like how some games look better than most games on PC, or how PC can do anything console can do. Now, I'm aware that currently there aren't any PC games that actually have this particular level of detail in their characters, mainly because it's just not something that's focused on. At least not with the genres that I see that a lot of guys on PC play. But I thought this was really interesting, and you're probably wondering, why are we staring so close at Aloy's face in Horizon Zero Dawn? Well, I'm about to show you something. I'm going to change the time of day. I always wondered if Aloy actually had real-time reflections in her eyes of the environment around her, which for any game would be considered a pretty tall order. Not to mention the level of detail in like the textures of the model in a third-person action game of this size with maps as large as they are. Sorry if I'm just it's you got to be very careful with the when moving, but we're gonna. So as you can see, I got the time of day thing turned on here. We're gonna gradually shift, and in her eyes, we're gonna gradually look at the reflections as the lighting sort of changes around her. And I'm pretty sure we actually see the environment reflecting in her eyes change as well. And that's one thing they did really well in this game was the reflections in the eyes in particular. Because I'm pretty sure we actually get to see the sun reflect in her eyes as it passes around. Not to mention that like the detail in the iris and whatnot, and the like it's pretty hard to see that level of detail in most games, let alone something like this. So I gotta go a little slower here, but okay, you're just starting now. Now we're just starting to see. You can just start to see that little on the left eye, or I'm sorry, her right eye. You can start to see the sun now coming into view. Like I thought that was actually kind of cool, and I think you even get to, yeah, see you even get to see it fade as well into the mountaintops there, like how the sun sets. You can see the color changing along with the time of day, to the point where it gets hidden by the horizon. And it's even and you can even tell it's I think what even makes it more like confirms that it's actually a real reflection is that you'll notice that the part of her face that the one side of her face that has a shadow over it, you don't see the sun's reflection, whereas the part that has light on it, you do. That's a really amazing touch, and I think that speaks volumes about the kind of things that you can see in console games these days. Like even the moon, we even see the rise of the moon in her eyes here too. And that's to say nothing about the actual amount of detail we're seeing in the eyes themselves. Like I can see the, you're probably not going to see it because this video will be in 720p once it's uploaded. But I can actually see the veins, the cones, and everything. But we can see the rise of the moon. We can see it as it goes up. Yeah, and that clicking that you heard at the end there, that means that the time of day is already. So yeah, so basically from there we can see the moon lowers, the sun rises, and that's actually pretty cool to me. Now, if you're wondering how did I get so freaking close to her in the first place, well, I've got depth of field turned on. We could of course look at her from further away if we want to. But I just thought, look, for the purpose of finding out whether or not her eyes actually did reflect the environment around her, I decided to give it a shot. Turns out that indeed it does. Now, this is a question I have for now. First of all, probably one of the most vocal PC gamers I'm aware of, or that I interact with on Twitter, is probably Fratanga. For Tanga Plays, if you're watching this, I have an honest question for you. Now, I have no doubt that PC can easily do this. I have no doubt about that. But are there any examples of it actually being done on P? Are there any games on PC where you actually see developers actually doing this? Because sorry, fly. I would like to see this. I'd like to see more games do this. You're not going to see this in games kind of like Detroit Become Human, because I don't think they give you quite that option. To my knowledge, there is no photo mode in Detroit Become Human. And it's funny because if I leave photo mode, we're right back here. This is where she's been standing this whole time. That's where the sun was. That's the actual time of day. The sun doesn't change. The sun doesn't remain in the time of day setting that you stop it at. It goes back to where it was. Anyway, that's just a little, I don't know, just a little thought from me. So yeah. Once again, my question to you for Tanga out there is: I know PC can do graphics like that, but are there any examples of it being done? That's what my question is. Are there any examples of it actually being done? That's about all I have to say for now, guys. Until then, peace out. Have a good one.